Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Tatiana. I'm a local realtor in North Carolina, and I'm here to share with you guys 5 things that I wish that I knew before I got my real estate license. So the first thing that I wish that I knew, I call them my CCRs. It's connections, consistency, and rapport. So when you are building connections and you're mingling with people, go to areas with things that you like to do. You like to go eat, go to different tastings, group wine tasting where it's you and then a bunch of random people. Go to events. Like you like to skate, go out to skate. You like to ride horses, go ride horses. Do something that you genuinely like to do, because more than likely there's going to be like-minded people out there, so it'll be easier to bond with them. And then once you guys are starting to build that connection, now it's like, okay, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer. And you're like, oh, that's awesome. What made you want to, be a lawyer? And naturally people are going to ask you about yourself. And so it's easy to build that connection and then say, well, I know that they're having an event here next week. You want to get together and, see if we can make some friends, whatever. And then you build that connection as they're learning more about you and you're learning more about them. You never know. You might have a solid friend that you truly are connected with, that you can connect with on a different level than just real estate or whatever their business is. And now you have a solid friend that wants to listen to you, and vice versa. And you never know what kind of connections you can build for your life and for your business. So definitely make sure that you go out and experience life and not just be confined to your office. And I'm a big fan of networking at different realtor events, but it makes no sense to just network with a bunch of realtors. Go out into your environment. You like to serve, go serve, meet people at church, talk to people. But building those connections is going to catapult your business. And when you do that, you are going to build consistency with them. Consistency in reaching out, consistency with hanging out, getting together, consistency with following up with them, whatever the case is. And in turn, you're going to build a good rapport with them, and they're going to know that they can trust you. And you're either going to get referrals from them, or you're either going to get business from them, or a really good friendship, or maybe all three. Number 2, it's not about how much you know, it's about how much you care. My mentor used to drill this into our brains, and I thought that this was like just something that people say when they're teaching their agents, things about real estate. But in reality, she was 1,000% right. I had secured a listing within my first year of being in real estate, and I did not know anything, and I wanted to do it by myself because I was so tired of asking everybody for help. And so what I did was I Googled it, I did research, and I found the answers that I needed. But when I didn't know something, I would tell my client straight up, like, hey, I don't know this answer, and stuff like that. Or, hey, this is what they're saying. I don't know what can happen, but I'm going to find out and I'm going to let you know. And I stayed consistent with them. I continuously reached out to them, checked on them, asked them how they felt, things of that nature, which didn't last long because the house was literally on the market for a day. I was very stunned. But, just being honest and being upfront with people goes a long way. I'm telling you. So definitely, it's not about how much I knew. And I would restrict myself even from having conversations with other people, because I was like, I don't know enough in that topic. I don't know enough, and stuff like that, versus just having the conversation and be like, hey, look, I really specialize in, residential. I really don't do rentals, but I would love to help you. And, I'm qualified. I can still find out all the information that I need to know, and I'm going to get back with you, and we're going to make sure we get the job done. Does that sound good? Yes, whatever, right? So just be honest, y'all. Number 3, this is my favorite because this is a Bible verse. Comparison is the thief of joy. I wish that I knew this when I got into real estate, because after a while, it wasn't hard. At first, I went through that phase of that honeymoon phase of being so in awe of all the realtors, but then that shortly changed into me comparing myself to people that I started with, comparing myself to other people that have been in the field. And it just makes no sense, because God has us on different timelines. And, one person might be successful, but you don't know what that person is doing in their business. They could be lying. They could be doing all kind of stuff, or they could be an honest person, but they might have a bigger sphere of influence. They might have made connections early, and so while you're still building yourself from the ground up, they have already built a foundation. People already trust their business, so they're getting that. But keep in mind, depending on where you live, 157 people move to Charlotte a day, and so with the agents that are actually, consistent, that's a good opportunity for me to get business. So I'm not worried about it if I see other people, doing their business. But sometimes if social media causes you to stumble, you need to just get rid of it. And you need to get rid of it until you mature in yourself, mature in who you are, who God created you to be. So when you are on social media, you do not compare yourself whatsoever to those other people. Don't even look at what they're doing. Don't even worry about what they're doing, because if they're not even caring, they're not even checking on you, it ain't worth checking on what they're doing, what they got going on with their business. Let them do their business their way, and you do your business your way, and let whatever is for you be for you, because guarantee if it's for you, it won't be for them, and what's for them is not going to be for you. So do not compare yourself to nobody. You don't know what their situation is, who they know, how many people they know. And yeah, hope that helps. Number 4, your savings will save you. Baby, do not be spending all of your money just because you get that check. I know you're going to be itching to buy you something, and that's great. You did great. You got through that transaction. It was stressful. It was probably your first deal. You're like, oh my gosh. But keep in mind, you got to pay taxes. Keep in mind, you have recurring bills. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Most of us do. You got car, you got student loans, you got internet, you got phone bill. Okay, that phone needs to stay on because you got people to call. That car need to stay here because you got people to drive and go see. So don't just be blowing your money. Be smart, because you don't know when that next deal is going to come. And if it comes fast, great. But don't spend that second check quick either. Okay. Be wise. Be smart about your finances. Be smart about your money, how you're spending it. And a extra pro tip: it's nobody's business how much money you make. You could be making millions of dollars. It ain't nobody's business that you make millions of dollars. You know why? Because your validation comes from God. Your validation does not come by man. So when people are making all this money, people are out here really prowling around trying to see who they can devour up. So you do not want to be telling people your personal business, how much you made on a deal. I don't care about the next TikTok trend, YouTube trend, where it's like, how much money did I make in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or January, February, March, April. Nobody cares. Clients don't care. Sellers don't care. They care about how much you care. They don't care about how much you made. So it's nobody's business. You're married, it might be your husband's business, but it ain't your mama's business. It ain't your cousin's business. It ain't your Instagram's business. It ain't Facebook's business, because not everybody has a good intention or a good heart. And it also does not bring you extra business. What it does bring you is vultures. Vultures that need to all of a sudden borrow some money because they know that you're a realtor, or it brings people that don't have any type of life and all they want to do is steal and take from people. And then all it takes is you claiming that you done made X amount of money, going to an open house with your door wide open for everybody to walk in, and next thing you know, it's somebody that's trying to take something from you. Be very wise, be very careful, and also make sure that you go to your open houses, even though I'm at an open house with nobody here. But make sure that you let somebody at least know where you're going to be at or what you're going to be doing. There's certain things in life, y'all, that you don't share with people. You don't talk too deep about your marriage, your personal business with your partner. You don't talk about your financial business, and you don't talk about the things that God is telling you in secret out in public to everybody that don't even care about you. Okay, next. And last but not least, number 5, there's absolutely nothing wrong with asking people for help. I used to be the type of person where when I first got licensed, I would ask people for help left and right. But then it got to a certain point where I would feel like a burden because I was asking for help. So what I did was I built a lot of friendships, a lot of connections with people from, my firm. And what I did was I found people that were like-minded with beliefs like me that would help me and guide me. So there was a point where I was really like, I know that I need help, but I don't want to ask, which is why I did my listing. the way that I did by myself without asking for help, because I felt like, people didn't want to help because I had to ask too many questions. But there's nothing wrong with asking questions. There's nothing wrong with getting the knowledge that you need. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help. So build your friendships in that firm. Don't be isolating yourself in the firm. Talk to people, network with the people within your firm or even other agents outside, and get their expertise on certain topics, because it's better to get expertise than to just be out here floating with no information whatsoever. And get that advice that you need from somebody that you trust. Don't feel like you have to do it alone. Don't doubt yourself. Continue to go forward, even if you're like, hey, I don't know what's going on and I don't know where my business is going to come from. God will bring you business once you trust in Him. So I want to show you something. This is why I say it's good to build those relationships with like-minded people in your firm, because as I was having a conversation about how I wanted to quit, I want to show you what somebody gave me. That is a mustard seed. My girl Haley gave me a mustard seed and told me not to give up when I felt like I wanted to give up, and even now, even sometimes feeling like I want to give up. But she gave me that mustard seed. And the Bible says that all you need is the faith of a mustard seed, and you can look at that mountain and tell that mountain to move. So I'm telling that mountain to move today in the name of Jesus, because all you need is that mustard seed of faith. And so when you are having that time where you're like, I'm a new agent, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what to do, I'm nervous to talk to these people, remember that mustard seed, because that mustard seed was so tiny, and that's all God needs to use you in whatever area you're in life. So guys, you are loved, you are cherished, and I believe in you. Thank you so much, guys, for watching my video. And if this really blessed you, go ahead and give me a like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date when I post another video. Bye.